Hi there, this is the original martial idea number 4, and it's in our series of videos on the Spanish martial gambit, in the line that Marshall had secretly prepared ahead of his famous 1918 game with black against Capablanca. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Spanish Ruy Lopez. The main line a6, sending the bishop back to a4, knight f6, to which white castles, allowing black to take in the open variation, but black prefers the closed variation with bishop e7. So rook e1 now defends that pawn on e4. b5 drives the white bishop back to b3. Black castles and c3 preparing d4, which allows black to enter into the martial counter gambit with d5, which basically gives up this pawn on e5. But in compensation, black gets some very active and often devastating piece play. E takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes on e5, black trades knights, knight takes e5, rook takes on e5, and the original idea of Marshall was to drop the knight back to f6. Nowadays c6 is preferred. After knight f6, in the game itself, Capablanca against Marshall, rook e1 was played. d4 is most common. But how about this move h3? We're going to explore this one now, because so often in the martial counter gambit that square on g4 is critical. The knight actually wants to head there immediately, so h3 takes that square away from the knight and in some variations the bishop. Black's going to continue with bishop d6, hitting the rook, sending it back to usually to e1, and knight g4 is played anyway, giving up that knight. Well, the queen can't take the knight because the bishop's defending it. We have to look into h takes. Well, if h takes on g4, the natural move is queen to h4, and black's going to be winning here in almost all variations. If g3, cutting off the bishop's diagonal, then bishop takes on g3. Very simple sacrificial line is going to be winning here for black. So if instead of g3, what else can white play? I believe rook e4, but that's also going to be losing. And if instead of g3, f3, well, if f3 is played, allowing the queen access to that h2 square, probably best here for black would be first bishop to b7, linking up the rooks, ensuring that a rook can get to e8. And in some variations, maybe there might even be a sacrifice on f3. That's going to be winning for black as well. So h takes on g4 is actually bad for white. If queen to f3, then queen h4 again, the same type of idea. But white can try this counter offensive with rook to e8. The idea being that if rook takes, then white's going to be winning with capture on f7. But after rook e8, simply bishop b7, which hits the queen, and the rook's under fire. White's going to play rook takes on f8. That's going to be recaptured by rook takes on f8. Queen takes on g4 now doesn't work for black. If queen takes on g4, have I put that in? Okay, not queen takes on g4, but queen takes b7. Let's have a look at that one. Queen takes on b7. That's not working because now black simply plays queen takes f2, and that's winning. So if instead of queen takes b7, queen takes on g4, then nice win here by black. Rook e8. Giving up the queen, because if queen takes on h4, then rook to e1 is mate. So in this position, after rook to e8, black has a winning position. White has no defenses whatsoever and can resign. So this has been the original martial idea number 4 in the Spanish martial gambit. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.